of my mission and passion is intensity, and I want to be around coaches with that intensity level, to accept challenges, to accept expectations. So there were some similarities when you think about, you know, those two gentlemen specifically. And as Coach Kingston said, we're going to run to expectations. We're not going to avoid those. And I think that's what athletes want to hear, and I think that's what's so important.
Were you a gut guy as a baseball manager?
I was. I think that I was a little bit of a sabermetrics guy, although your data sometimes is not great enough to lean on it 100%. But I think that more than anything else, I was a gut guy. And I probably, in my short tenure as an athletics director, there's some gut going on there. Going through this process, as I got to know Coach Kingston, and we had some long phone calls, not because I was scrutinizing him, we were learning from each other. And a lot of the traits that he possesses are important to our program and where we are today. And like I said, he had a chance to visit with some of our players when he came in with his wife T last week, and that was extremely encouraging. There's going to be a work ethic, there's going to be an accountability, there's going to be an expectation to win, and I believe that he will put us in the position to achieve at a high level.
Coach, what gives you the utmost confidence in hiring Kingston? I mean, you hear this noise from some fans. Well, he hasn't managed a big program, but he's been a part of big-time programs as well. So what gives you the most confidence he can handle all the noise and the attention that comes with being here in South Carolina?
I don't believe that it matters about where you were as far as what is a big program and what is not a big program. The places that he has been and has challenged himself, I'm familiar with the Illinois State program, I'm familiar with USF. Those jobs are not easy jobs. In many ways, being in the Southeastern Conference, you have better resources, you have greater opportunities. Certainly the challenges rise to that level as well. But as you can tell today, he is a young man that is excited about what lies in front of him and what this program stands for. So I'm confident that he will embrace competing in the Southeastern Conference, competing against our rival, and trying to position this program to make trips to Omaha.
Ray, you came in and you built this program and you're one of the best in the country. What advice will you give him when it pertaining to getting it back to that level, getting the Gamecocks back on top?
Well, through our conversations that we had, he did spend some time here. We had a great visit, but we had a lot of phone conversations, as I mentioned, and he's a basic work ethic guy. It is about the grind. It's about the investment to get a return. It's about recruiting high-level athletes. There's so many good programs in the Southeastern Conference that at any particular time you could have 3 or 4 teams make it to Omaha. You just saw 2 teams play in the finals. It's about being in the right position. It's not necessarily about being the greatest all the time. It is about the position that you put your team in. Are you going to be in that game if you can win that particular game? If you have those opportunities, then those great days will be there for us that we've had in the past. And I believe strongly in what he stands for, and I believe that he's a great teacher. I know he's a motivator, and there's going to be work ethic. The investment is going to be made to get the return.
Yeah, he comes across as a guy not afraid of a challenge. Kind of reminds you of a younger Ray Tanner.
Well, I'll say this. You know, I was visiting with him today, and I had a chance to visit with him on campus last week. And one thing that crossed my mind as I was listening to Dr. Pastides and Mark have a conversation in the president's living room, I sort of removed myself from the conversation and allowed them to talk. And the thing that struck me, had I been a candidate at the same time he was, I probably wouldn't have been the guy that got selected. I'm very, very impressed with what he stands for and what he's already done in college baseball. And now I believe very strongly that our platform enables him to achieve at a very high level.
How did he come on your radar screen to begin with?
He was on my radar screen from the very beginning because in the college baseball coaching circles, his name is always there. He's a guy that you go back and look at some of the Kendall Rogers and the Aaron Fitz and the John Manuels. They mention him along the way as a young guy that's going to be on the scene. I knew that. I know he's a great teacher. I'm very good friends with the athletics director of Illinois State. It just happened to be, you know, an opportunity that I had to visit with him about Mark. But I know where he's been, and I know who he's worked for very well. I know Rick Jones extremely well. I know Jim Marsh very, very well. I had a chance to talk to them about the perception that I had, and it's extremely valuable to have those assets. But like I said, I believe he's the right man for this job, and I know that our current players are already excited, and his message was today to be ready to work.
Can you say how many guys you interviewed for this position?
As I said a few weeks ago, whatever date that ended up being, June 6th or 7th, and I said it's likely to go to the end of the College World Series or to the end of the month. I stayed on task. I was able to get to the people that I needed to get to, and I honestly did vet out a lot of candidates. So, you know, at times I know that that's not great for a particular candidate, but I thought it was the right thing to do. I wanted to get it right. I wasn't concerned about it being fast.
Was Coach Kingston the only one you got on campus for the interview?
I don't want to get into that. The answer is no, but you guys didn't get the other candidates, so that was good. But I had a chance to visit with a lot of coaches that were certainly very familiar with what we stand for, and but it was great. You know, this job is a special job, and it created a lot of interest. And but I'm excited that Mark Kingston is our coach.
Was part of waiting until the College World Series is over? Was there anyone in the College World Series you were interested in?
Well, part of that comment that I made about the College World Series is I was working the College World Series. I was not there the whole time, but as a committee member, and now I assume the chair position of the baseball committee next year, I was out there for some days. And also there were a couple of people that I had an opportunity to visit with that had teams playing. So that was part of the process, but I knew I was going to, you know, if you will, I knew I was going to be on duty during some of the College World Series.
Ray, there were some fans obviously expecting somewhat of a bigger name, but you're obviously very confident in this guy. What do you say to the fans to ease any concerns?
Well, you know, it's interesting. I do tweet occasionally. I like to tweet about the success of our programs. I don't read a lot on social media. My day job is kind of busy. I don't get a chance to get into a lot of that. But, you know, when I came home, it was interesting. Last night, 8:30 or 9 o'clock, my wife said, how's your day? How's it been going? I said, it's great. I said, I think that people are going to love Mark Kingston. She had met Mark and T on the visit the previous week, and she said, I'm sure they will. I said, I think that some of the angst is a lot of people do not know who he is. And she said to me, which was prophetic, she looked at me, she said, when you came here, did they know who you were? I said, maybe not. But I think he's a little bit more well-known than that. But I think that, you know, listening to him today, and I'm extremely confident with what he brings and the impact he's going to have on his program.
Coach, was there a specific moment that you remember saying, this is my guy?
I'll just go back, maybe not a specific moment, but there were numerous conversations on the telephone. I would find myself, you know, telling him, I'll call you in a couple of days. I called him the next day. I wouldn't wait 2 days, because I would think about something I wanted to share with him, and I was tremendously impressed with the way he approaches day-to-day activities in a program where the student athletes are concerned, and the impact he's going to have on them, and the motivational, he's going to have their back. He's going to, all the qualities and cultures that he stands for were very impactful to me. And I guess I probably started officially offering him the job Monday or Tuesday of this week. I shared some details on what a contract might look like, and we went through a few things there. But he's a professional. He's a pro with a lovely family, and we're excited to get him going here.
Do you feel like you paid about what should be paid for, obviously Duke, what you made offer, but do you feel like he's where he should be paid as far as salary-wise?
Well, you know, that's an interesting dynamic. I'll say this, and I hope that I don't get in trouble, but I hope that his success in this program dictates a different contract and in a different place in the future. But the incentive package is very strong that he has, and I looked at the comparables in college baseball. I think he's in a good place, but I do not expect him to stay where he is.
6-year deal is a pretty lengthy amount of time. Why was that the decision for you guys?
I'm one of those people that I believe in coaches, and it doesn't always go the right way. What's important is if you do things the right way all the time. And you know, I guess I'm an athletics director now, but I'm really a coach that wears a suit. I think I understand the livelihoods of coaches, whatever the sport may be, and that means a lot to me. And I think that student athletes need to understand that their coaches are going to be here for them if they do things the right way. And there needs to be, there is a lot of pressure on coaches today across the board, and a commitment, a long-term commitment when it can be done, I think is the right thing to do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.